All right, so let's go to the EPL. It starts this weekend. Man City won it all last year. Liverpool second. Liverpool for $80 million sells the biting warrior Suarez. But they buy a lot of other guys.
They buy Southampton.
Who have sold. Ralph Kruger, former Oilers head coach, has sold all of his players. There are some people who buy none of it on Liverpool and believe the only reason, with all due respect to Steven Gerrard and Daniel Sturridge and Martin Skirtle and all these guys, the only reason Liverpool were down to the final weekend in the championship race was Suarez. Can they stay top two after spending and reinvesting the money without, on his non-biting day, one of the best players in the world, Luis Suarez?
I don't think so. They can't finish second. I mean,
I don't have them top four.
Well, I haven't top four, but that fourth place is going to be a scrap, real scrap between, maybe an Arsenal, certainly Spurs, Everton, United, of course. It's going to be a great scrap. But listen, he was their best player. He was the best player last season. 31 league goals. When he was on that field, the other teams were terrified. He was the difference maker, no doubt about it. But without him, they played very well as well. Daniel Sturridge, in the absence of Suarez when he was suspended or hurt, played really well, scored goals. He loves to be the main man to Sturridge. He's now the main man. So, it's time for him to stand up and prove that he can do it for an entire season. They've brought some nice players in.
They have.
Adam Lallana, Markovic from Benfica, £20 million, expensive. He's going to be a good player.
He's going to be good.
Lovren from Southampton at the back, of course. So
like you said, all of Southampton.
Yeah, basically. Well, three of their key players, right? Lallana, Ricky Lambert, and Dejan Lovren. Listen, they're still a very good team, but top two is going to be a stretch. I think the other teams have improved around them dramatically. So I think it's going to be a battle for top four. And bear in mind, they're playing in the Champions League. And last year, there was no European competition. They went at the Cups quite early as well, so they could focus on one thing, and one thing only.
James Sharman in studio. Tim McAuliffe has a splitting headache. Tim McAuliffe is outside of the studio, lying on a couch, trying to recover from said headache. However, I am being told Tim McAuliffe, due to the power of the BlackBerry Q10, has been kind enough to call in and will ask James a question. Tim, are you there?
No, actually, it's Eddie in Fort Erie.
Sorry, Eddie in Fort Erie. You want to talk about Juan Francisco?
I'm kidding. Who is going to win the EPL?
Okay.
That's a probing question.
And will they make the final in the Champs League?
Okay. And now hang up and just close your eyes for a second. Yeah, just close your eyes. Tim McAuliffe.
I haven't heard that question once this week.
Yeah, no one's asking that question, but it's the best question.
It is the best question, yeah.
Because we were part of the John Molinaro survey on Sportsnet.ca. I believe John is the only guy who didn't pick Chelsea to win.
He had West Bromwich Albion finishing first.
That's what I like about John.
He goes out there on a limb.
He's out on a limb. Okay, so how about this? Why isn't Chelsea bringing in Cesc Fabregas and Diego Costa not going to win the EPL?
I think they're going to win it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at their holes last year, right? Brand new manager, second time around, Mourinho. Said from the beginning it's a transitional year. We're not quite where I want us to be. There was a big issue up front. Torres was not the man, clearly. Eto'o wasn't the man, so they go out and buy Diego Costa, arguably the best centre forward in European football last season. Was absolutely brilliant.
Not during the World Cup.
No. And that's a good point, though. He had a very bad World Cup and was hurt down the stretch run as well. Of course, a very different system in Chelsea.
Yes.
That big, strong centre forward, he fits into that mould and that system beautifully. They bring in Cesc Fabregas, who when he left Arsenal, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago now? I think
it was 4.
He was arguably the best player in English football. He was brilliant.
He was fantastic.
And it could be said he's better now. So he's certainly the best midfielder, in my opinion, in English football. Those two players alone make a huge difference to this Chelsea team. They are the two big holes. They bring in a new fullback, Luis Felipe, who was superb last year.
Outstanding.
Atletico, any issues and concerns we have for this team last year have been filled with world-class players. So I think they are the favourites and should be the favourites to win this year and go a long way in the Champions League. And why not make it to the final? Made the semi-finals last year, don't forget.
They did. It starts Saturday, and Sportsnet's schedule for weekend number 1 of the English Premier League starts off with a bang. 7:30 Saturday. Man U, the new-look Manchester United with Louis van Gaal running things with 3 center backs and 2 wing backs. Man U against Swansea at 7:30 Eastern. Other games Saturday, QPR Hull City, West Ham Tottenham, and the Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. Alexis Sanchez is going to be fun to watch.
By the way, sorry, I know Palace is hardly a sexy topic for a regular sport.
No, we've been on it for 2 hours.
But Tony Pulis has come out today, the manager, and says he's basically in the war room with the management saying, either you give me funds or I'm leaving. 2
for
days
him.
before the season
Good for
starts.
him.
That's
To
leverage.
hell with this.
His market is so high right now. He's done such a great job last
You're not
year.
going to give me $8 to buy players. And I'm going to stick around.
Sports, eh? Professional sports.
Also, Sportsnet World has the Monday game, Chelsea-Burnley. So we get to take a look at Jose Mourinho's newer look Chelsea. It's going to be weird with no Ashley Cole there, by the way.
Yeah.
Ashley Cole's moved on to Roma. No, well, yeah, you can argue he wasn't there. So it's going to be fantastic. James, listen, we love you. And let's do it again Monday.